Direct News TV. January 3, 2024. Israel-Hamas war live, Israel ready for retaliation after Hamas killing. Israel's military says it is on high readiness for any scenario after the assassination of Hamas official Salah al-Arari and 6 others in Lebanon. Al-Arari was killed in a drone strike in southern Beirut, a Hezbollah stronghold. Israeli has not claimed responsibility. Qassam brigades target Israeli soldiers and vehicles in Khan Yunis. The Qassam brigades have announced the targeting of Israeli military vehicles and the detonation of 2 improvised explosive devices in the south of the Gaza Strip. In the southern city of Khan Yunis, an Israeli tank and a D-9 bulldozer were targeted with a Yasin 105 missile, according to Hamas's military wing. Qassam said its fighters also detonated 2 anti-personnel devices at a group of 7 Israeli soldiers east of the town of Qaza, east of Khan Yunis. Red Crescent, hospital vicinity shelled by Israeli military. The Palestine Red Crescent says that several residential buildings around Al-Amal Hospital and its headquarters in Khan Yunis have been shelled by the Israeli army, causing a state of panic and fear among displaced people seeking shelter at the hospital. Blinken to visit Turkey on Saturday, FM. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will visit Turkey on Saturday to discuss bilateral and regional issues, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan told reporters, state broadcaster TRT reports. CPJ, 80 Palestinian journalists killed since October 7. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, at least 87 journalists, the large majority of them Palestinian, have been killed since October 7. Yemenis protest in Sana'a in support of Palestinians. Yemenis have marched in the Houthi-controlled capital of Sana'a in solidarity with Palestinians as Israel continues to pound the besieged Gaza Strip. UNRWA chief, unbearable suffering in Gaza. Philippe Lazzarini has said that 3 months of the war in Gaza have led to mass displacement, mass human losses and injuries, and mass destruction. Unbearable suffering made worse by constant dehumanization and promotion of hate speech going unchecked, he said in a post on X. Israeli raid on West Bank refugee camp ongoing. Suleiman al-Zahiri, one of the officials in the Nur Shams refugee camp in Tulkarem, occupied West Bank, says the Israeli raid which began last night is still happening. The raid began at 11:30 p.m., 21:30 Greenwich Mean Time, yesterday, and it's now been 16 hours, he told Al Jazeera. The camp has been surrounded from all sides and is declared a closed military zone, with a strict curfew imposed on the residents. More than 100 homes were attacked, their contents were destroyed, and these homes were used as sniper bases, al-Zahiri said. At least 4 homes were bombed. Hundreds of Palestinians were arrested, he added, saying that in the homes the Israeli soldiers raided, they detained every male over the age of 16. The camp's infrastructure was attacked, and some of the streets were destroyed. This is Israel's 11th raid on the refugee camp since October 7, which resulted in 27 Palestinians being killed. UNRWA sounds the alarm on the spread of disease in Gaza. UNRWA warns that after nearly 90 days of war, the situation in Gaza is dire. Overcrowded streets of Rafah witnessed the alarming spread of disease. Famine looms, exacerbated by restricted access. It's critical for a humanitarian ceasefire to provide urgent aid and end this forced continuous displacement. Stripped naked, attacked by dogs, Israel held thousands of Gaza laborers. Human Rights Watch says that the laborers were held without charge in incommunicado detention for weeks after October 7. Some were stripped naked and photographed, put in diapers, attacked by dogs, dragged face down in gravel and cuffed for days. The released Palestinian workers gave media interviews, describing abuses and degrading conditions in detention, including being subjected to electric shocks, urinated on, attacked by dogs, as well as held for several days without food or water, the group said. Human Rights Watch was not able to verify these accounts. Houthis target container ship headed towards Israel. Yemen's Houthi group has targeted a CMA-CGM Tage container ship bound for Israel, the group's military spokesman Yehia Sarria said. The Yemeni armed forces confirmed that they will continue to prevent Israeli ships or those heading to the ports of occupied Palestine from navigating in the Red and Arab Seas until they bring in the food and medicine our brothers in the Gaza Strip need, Sarria said. He added that any U.S. attack will not pass without a response or punishment. Yesh Din identifies escalation of settler violence under cover of Gaza war. The Israeli rights group says that in the 3 months since October 7, it has documented more than 240 incidents of settler violence in 93 West Bank towns and villages, yet to our knowledge, Israeli law enforcement authorities have not filed a single indictment. Israeli movement restrictions all but imposed a total closure on the West Bank, with entrances and exits of many villages and towns blocked. The traditional olive harvest was almost completely obstructed, causing massive financial damage to thousands of Palestinian families. We fear the West Bank will deteriorate further into lawlessness with no accountability, the group said in a statement. France condemns Israeli minister's call for Palestinian emigration from Gaza. France has described comments made by Israeli ministers calling for Palestinians to be forcibly displaced from Gaza and Jewish settlers to return to the besieged territory as provocative. France condemns the comments of Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, the French Foreign Ministry said in a statement after Ben-Gvir's statement on Monday and Smotrich's on Sunday. We call on Israel to refrain from such provocative declarations, which are irresponsible and fuel tensions. Yemen's Houthis claim attack on Israel-bound ship. Houthi spokesperson Yehia Sarria says the group has targeted the CMA-CGM Tage container ship, claiming it was headed for Israel. Sarria also warned the U.S., which leads a naval coalition patrolling the Red Sea, against interfering, saying any U.S. attack will not pass without a response or punishment. The statement was issued 3 days after U.S. naval forces killed 10 Houthi fighters and sank 3 Houthi boats. The U.S. said it was responding to a Houthi attack on a separate container ship, the Maersk Hangzhou. El-Sisi tells U.S. Congress delegation the priority is a ceasefire in Gaza. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has told a delegation of U.S. lawmakers that the current priority is to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. In a statement from the presidency, el-Sisi stressed the importance of responsible action to avoid widening the conflict in the region. Unclear if Hezbollah willing to drag Lebanon into major conflict. Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati says the killing of Hamas official Salah al-Arari aims to draw Lebanon deeper into the Gaza war. During the almost 3-month-old war, Israel has traded almost daily cross-border fire with the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed ally of Hamas, while so far avoiding a full-scale war. But after the assassination in Beirut, which Israel has not claimed, all eyes are on what happens next. Al-Arari's killing is a significant escalation, says Maha Yehia from the Carnegie Middle East Center. But, I don't think Hezbollah will be willing to drag Lebanon into a major conflict at this particular moment in time, given the situation regionally, Yehia added. Israel has also labeled Hamas's Gaza leader Yehia Sinwar dead man walking and promised to kill other commanders. Israel's government shows it will target Hamas leaders no matter where. After Salah al-Arari's killing, Israel's government has made it clear that it will go after Hamas leaders no matter where they are. It wants to show that it is taking this war seriously at a time when the public still supports it. The government also aims to ensure Hamas never returns, either militarily or politically. Hezbollah has made it clear it will retaliate. The group has already been carrying out strikes on Israel's northern border daily since the war started. We've seen some of the group's mortar attacks this morning on the northern border. Hezbollah has stronger capabilities than Hamas and they have grown in recent years. They now have long-range missiles that can hit here in Tel Aviv as well as other areas in Haifa. We haven't seen a major escalation yet and when that could happen is still unclear. Palestinian Prisoners Group, 11,000 arrested in 2023. The Palestinian Prisoners Society, PPS, says that 11,000 Palestinians were arrested in 2023, including 1,085 children and 300 women. The numbers of those detained are similar to those detentions that took place in the early years of the Second Intifada in 2001 to 2002, the PPS said. At least 5,500 Palestinians were arrested after October 7, including 355 children and 184 women. Currently, there are 8,800 Palestinians in Israeli jails, including 3,291 Palestinians detained without charges. EU's Josep Borrell says world must impose solution to Gaza conflict. The European Union's foreign policy chief says the international community must impose a solution to Israel's war on Gaza as both sides are unable to come to terms. I believe that we have learned in these 30 years that the solution has to be imposed from outside because the two parties will never be able to reach an agreement. My name is Kingsley. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post. You won't regret it.